Welcome to another meeting of TV Holics Anonymous. Quick, hit the follow button so you never miss an episode. You can also follow us on our socials too: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on whatever you're listening to this podcast on. Welcome to another meeting of TV Holics Anonymous. My name is Ruru and I am a TV holic. So today I'm going to do this podcast episode solo because Mimi's not here. It might be a quick one, I'm not sure yet, but I have to go out and about, so I've got a lot of things to do and I need to get this done real quick. So hopefully this gets done quick. So anyway, I really loved this episode. These last 3 episodes, so episode 4, 5, and 6, because the person that I thought was like the cleverest and the more like the person that's very like, what's the word, observant and like sits back and watches everyone is Nick. And you saw that from the episode with Alti when he was basically talking about how he noticed that Alti said no cap, and he was just like sitting back and watching and thinking that like noticing how he said it quite a few times to like different people and how it didn't match his personality, because Alti's an older guy, and even though he's like teaching like school kids in his like at school, he wouldn't be using that word in his like vocabulary. It just didn't, there was something off about it. So he thought that was an agenda and he, got Alti out basically of the game. So what I wanted to talk about in this episode is let's start with episode 4, 99 problems. Not 99 problems. 1999 problems. So basically that's a play on words. So it's like, 99 problems, like the Jay-Z song. But what I want to say is that I thought that, like I said, that Kevin would be great. Not Kevin. Nick would be great because he, like, because of like, he's very like, good at like reading people and stuff like that. And also because he has really good like cadence in his voice. He's very like he naturally is very like laissez-faire when he speaks, very like very like smooth, very very nonchalant, very easygoing, kind of like easy flow. Like he's got like a lazy flow when he talks, so that makes him not sound suspicious at all, and it just makes him like, some people talk really fast, some people talk really slow and are just like this and like that. So that I think would work really well to his advantage. And also I think that like, I feel like this is like a turning point after like the easy setup that they had in episode 1, 2, and 3. Like a lot of people have gone. They've only got, I believe, like about, I think 10 cast members left. And it's very, like it's very tense now. Before it was like they just came in, they were enjoying themselves, having fun. And now like I feel like it's getting very serious, and everyone's like thinking about like the money right now, and the paranoia has like turned up like a notch or two, because like people think that they can like suss out who is the millionaire potentially, because they're getting better at it. They're getting better at like seeing who is like getting who is like, who's got the agenda, because they're noticing everything. They're like clocking everything. They're noticing everyone's little moves, every little move that anyone makes. And if it's not on their baseline, because they've been monitoring everyone's baseline. And I think this group is very much like, compared to last year's group of people, they're very like on it, because obviously they'd be better because they've studied like the previous like season, and that's why they wanted to come on the show. And they have like, they're clever. There's a lot of people that from very like astonishing backgrounds, like, not astonishing, but like very, backgrounds that would help them, aid them at winning this game. But also those people have also kind of like fallen and like been like let go off in this game. I think also people have to like you a lot as well, and you have to not rock the boat, which I'll get to in a little while, because a lot of people have rocked the boat already and it has been to their detriment because they have been voted off. So like I was saying, the initial like stages, like 1, 2, episode 1, 2, and 3, everyone's like very calm and like collected about the situation, and they weren't as like, up to, like not up to speed, but I mean, turned on as they are right now. Like, switched on and like focused. Everyone has like laser focus, and I think they're getting like, by the end of episode 6, I think they're just like, they just know. I think it's too easy for them now. Like the agendas have to be, I feel like production have to make like agendas like, a bit more difficult for the cast to like figure out, because otherwise each time you play this game, like the millionaire's always going to get caught. It shouldn't be that easy for the millionaire to get caught, because it's not fun for us watching if they're caught all the time. So I think like a few of the agendas have to be a bit easier. Not all of them, I guess, but maybe you can do something to, make your agenda easier or something. I don't know. Can't they do an agenda when like with like, actually I'll talk about one of the agendas which Nick did that I thought that he could have done better, and I've got an idea of like how he could have done it better, like how I would have done it basically, and not get caught. So yeah, let's talk about the episode 4 right now, because that was called, like I said, 1999 Problems, and it's a play on 99 Problems by Jay-Z, the song. I think that's what it's a play on, or is that song a play on something else? Who knows? Anyway, so this episode was really interesting, and I think that this is when like Nick like shone the most, but also like there was a lot of tricky bits where like he kind of, in the beginning, he overestimated himself, but let's talk about it. So I think at the beginning of the episode, Nick is way too confident and happy to like be getting the $1 million in his like box. And I think that's like slowly knocked out of him all that confidence when he goes to the study in the, near the trophy room. And he's sitting there with Peter, and Peter basically tells him the agenda, and then like he gets the wind knocked out of him, because basically the agenda, he has to, tell two people that they kind of look like they're celebrity doppelgangers, not two people, four people. And he doesn't know anything about celebrities, which I find is really weird. Like someone who's like young and like has access to the internet, like it's not like he's one of the older people who like probably wouldn't know that much about celebrities because they're like busy working and stuff like that, or I don't know. I just feel like younger people would probably know like about celebrities and stuff like that. It's just weird. And then he's like freaking out about that because he can't like recall any celebrity names. And then if he does the agenda, he's told that he'll get a double kill shot. So he'll be able to knock off two people, which makes him get closer to, taking the money home. So he's excited about that. But then he's also told, if you don't, complete the agenda, or you don't even attempt the agenda, you will have four different, you'll have four, votes against you at the dinner. So that's scary. And he was scared. He was scared. He was like shaking his boots. So then he went to like do the agenda. He got it done, and he did it really smoothly. And like I said before, it's because he has that like kind of like lazy flow to his voice, and it's like very easy for him to like, people like to trust what he's saying because he's like very laid back. And I did notice that Melissa was very, very like, like trying to clock everything at the breakfast or like lunch thing when they were meeting up and they were talking and eating outside. And Caleb, he became really suspicious of Melissa, because he thought the agenda was for her to like get someone to eat her sandwich, and that's why she was offering the sandwich to Caleb, and Caleb was like, I know it's her, I know it's her. So he was going around like creating chaos, telling everyone around the house, I think it's her, I think it's her. And then other people as well were like discussing it, and that's when they all like broke up into groups, and like the younger people kind of like went by the pool, and like they were just talking, they dipping their feet in the pool, and they were talking about like celebrity, like pop culture stuff, or like rom-coms. That's it, rom-coms. Um, and one of the girls brought up the rom-com situation, and then like he thought that he'd slip in, like he'd heard some celebrity names, and then he just slipped in, like to Caleb, and to um also to Kevin, that he looks like, like Top Gun thing. But that was at the end. He told Kevin that he looked like Tom Cruise. And then Caleb, he also said he looked like someone, Matthew McConaughey. Oh, Matthew McConaughey, I think it was Caleb, or I don't know. And then other people, like, I don't think anyone really clocked at that point, but then later on they kind of did. They kind of thought about it, and when Peter gave them a clue about like what the agenda might be, and they were like, oh my God, that might have been an agenda, and it might have been rom-com who brought that topic up, and blah blah blah. And then they had their little challenge thing to see who gets to go in the trophy room and get the clue from Peter. And they basically had to go into the wine cellar at the stag, and like they'd split up into two teams, and I can't remember who won this. I think it was Nick's team. Was it Nick's team who won? But Nick did really well, and I think Nick uh and Umeko and Caleb, I think they were all on the same team. Not that sure. I'm just like trying to like look through this quickly and see who won. The wine thing, I thought they were going to drop all those wine bottles, by the way, as well, because there was like a whole bunch of wine bottles, and everything, like at one point somebody nearly dropped them. I think it was Kevin or someone else, or Hunter or Kevin, and he was like, help, help, help. So I thought that was like hilarious. So Nick seemed pretty pleased about the outcome, and he he basically, I think, I'm still looking through what happened. Um, I love all these snacks and everything that they get all the time. It looks like so amazing to be like sitting there eating. They get snacks. They get like 3 square meals, and then they also get all these snacks and hors d'oeuvres, and like like fruit and all that. So I think like the next day was when, there's lots of deers and everything. It's so beautiful and picturesque. I just want to talk about the house as well. The house and the scenery, and I believe it's on a lake or something like that. It's just like gorgeous, and like the wildlife looks amazing. Everything looks amazing, and they had that tennis court as well in the previous episode. It just looks so beautiful. It's like, oh, I'd love to live there. Like I'm sure a lot of people would. And very like, quiet and peaceful, like a lovely little life. So yeah, he did like accomplish his agenda, and then uh let's just see who got to go in the trophy room, because I can't remember that. Uh the next day he finished his agenda, because he was like, also he told uh Yumiko that she looks like Beyonce as well. I can't remember who else he said stuff to, but yeah, so in the trophy room, who went in there? I think it was between Nick and no, also Nick didn't win, so it was between Hunter, not Hunter. Damn it, what's his name? Kevin and the other girl, forgot her name. I think Casey is her name. And then Kevin got to go in, and basically they're just going to talk about like the clue. The clue was the 1999 situation. And like he just like says a bunch of movies that were in 1999, and then he's just like the person that you're looking for is born in 1999. And then everyone just like gathers on the sofa, and then Kevin tells everyone all together. First, he says, "I want to know everyone's age, and just tell me your ages before I, reveal the clue." So I don't know why, but if like I was getting such a direct hint that it's about the ages, like Kevin was, then I would have like changed my age and put it 1 year up or 1 year down instead of just telling everyone that my age is like my birth year is 1999. Like that didn't make much sense to me at all. So yeah, I thought that was a bit crazy. And then like obviously he was on like the chopping block then because there was like a whole bunch of people that were born the same year. So that was crazy. And I don't think that he like really thought that through. I thought he just was like quite stressed at that moment, and he was trying to, like think about, other things like what's gonna come out about the clue and this and that. So Melissa was also really, really happy that she wasn't on the chopping block because everyone suspected her because of Caleb and the sandwich situation. Caleb was like, "Oh, damn it, like I'm so dumb. Like I thought that was an agenda, but clearly it wasn't." So now they're all back to square one. Well, not really, because they've got like four potential millionaires that they're like trying to distinguish between who is a millionaire. And so it's like it's the blonde girl, it's the girl with the black hair, it's Nick, and it is also Kevin. So everyone is like super suspicious and like grilling them all, and then I think that they're having lunch or something like that, and they're just like walking around the house like trying to figure out everything, and everyone's having loads of like little side conversations, and then Melissa notices that the blonde girl is like really quiet and like becoming quite recluse and stuff like that, and then I feel like at this point, like no one really knows that it's Nick, but everyone's having their suspicions, and then they're talking about it amongst each other, and then they all kind of like come out with it and say, "Oh, what do you think about Nick? Do you think it's Nick? I feel like it's Nick. I feel like it's definitely Nick." But they're just talking about it behind like Nick's back, I think, at this point, and it's becoming like abundantly clear that like a lot of people think it's Nick, and at this point, I think that Nick has to just like he tries to just like get through this round and then like try and fight for another day. So basically he wins it, and he gets I think Umeko, did she in this episode or not in episode 4? I'm getting so confused. Um did she she gets the agenda then, didn't she? I'm not sure. Oh God. I tried to also look at notes that other people made online. Not notes, but like articles and stuff. But that was all a bit like, not very good. I think it's just because it just got released like really like right now. So I'm not sure about that. And then basically Nick tries to throw the blonde girl under the bus, and then instead of that, no everyone picks her, but she doesn't get like kicked out. And because I don't think this isn't one that I don't know, it wasn't one that people get kicked off of. Oh no, it was actually they picked, wasn't it? Who got picked? I'll have to the oh yeah, the double barrel kill shot. In the next episode, they reveal in the next episode that someone got kicked off, and I wonder who it is. Um Basically it is, I'm just gonna like Melissa, I think. It was Melissa and the girl with the black hair. So let's see who this was. kind of like scrolling through it and watching it. So Yumiko is making loads of faces because she's freaking out. So it was the bear. So the bear is Melissa. So she's out. And then it's also the next person is, well, Nick's looking way too nervous, like when I'm looking at him in this. He's looking way too nervous, and Melissa's like, she doesn't know who the millionaire is, that everyone's asking, like, who is it? And everyone's sad that Melissa's got kicked out. And then the next person is oh yeah, so the girl with the black hair, forgot her name. She was kicked out as well. She had a high ponytail. Um yeah, so Nick basically double barrel kill shot them. Casey, that's her. So yeah, she got kicked out, and then obviously Nick's gonna get another agenda the next day, and everyone's like just talking by the fire, and they kind of like, suspect Nick now at this point as well. And everyone's just like worried about who it is. They're eating their desserts. They get served dessert outside by the fake fire, and it just looks so beautiful, very, very beautiful, very picturesque. And everyone feels kind of like deflated because two people were like kicked off the show, and the millionaire's like thriving. And the blonde girl definitely thinks Kat. Yeah, she definitely thinks it's Nick. And Nick is not doing a good job of like hiding it now, because we're on episode 5, and he's basically, everyone's just talking like openly that they basically think that it's definitely one of the, it's just one of the three. So Yumiko, Nick, or Kevin. And there's a lot of suspicion now like thrown on Nick, because he's acting kind of sus. And the next morning, Nick has another, like, obviously he has to go talk to Peter for his new agenda. So he's talking to Peter, and Peter's like, how do you feel now? And he's like, I don't feel good, like sending 2 innocent people home, but like I had to for my own game because I need to win the million. And then basically he's saying that if you lose, Peter's saying, it's basically if you lose the agenda, then you're basically good as gone. And he basically gives him the agenda of like, you have to clip 3 people with these clothes pegs, wooden clothes pins, and you have to do it on 3 guests. So I had like a really good idea of how I tackle this. Basically, I would have just gone behind people, clipped it on them for a second, and then taken it off, and then done that to like loads of people without 3 people without them knowing. The problem is he clipped it on them and then took it off. I mean, not took it off. He left it on there, so obviously they're going to find it, and he was the only one lingering around them, so he's going to know it's them. Like they're going to know it's him, but he was getting too desperate, like I think at this point, and he blew it. So that's how I would have done it. I would have played the game like that, but I'm watching, so I can see how other people make mistakes, and then I can, like figure out a different way to do it. So God knows how I would have done it if I was like there myself playing this game, because it is really tense and stressful. Also, at this same like point in time, Yumiko had been given her own agenda as well. So she was told in her room that if you actually, let me just go back and just see what happens. What did he say? Like, if you don't complete this, or like, okay, so if you do clip the 3 clothespins on the guests, then basically, oh yeah, and then Peter goes, "Don't call me dude," and then Nick was like, "Oh, okay." So basically, he was like, "Sir, sir, sir, yes, sir," the whole time. Um, Peter was only like, it's dry British humor, so I don't think he's gonna get pissed if he actually calls him dude. Like it's not a big deal. And then basically he has to like complete the agenda, and now like he's quite stressed about this. You can see it in Nick's face. And yeah, so he said that you'll basically, if you do this, you'll get two rewards instead of one. So he's kind of excited about that as well. Basically, the first reward will be that the trophy room will be cancelled, so no one can get a clue about you, who you are. And so obviously he wants that because everyone's really onto him right now at this point. Like he's not safe. And the second one is basically uh like he's just firstly he's just thinking like this could potentially like save my life in here. And the second one is two votes against Nick. Whoever votes for him will at the elimination they will be cancelled. So like even if like two people are voting for him to be out, like two of those votes will be cancelled. So that's really, relieving for him as well. So he feels like he needs to do this to get this like little cushion, which is I feel like this reward was the best because these agendas have been really, really difficult and like people are getting caught left, right, and center. And that's why like the turnover rate for the millionaires has been quite high because everyone's like clocking really fast because they know the show, they've watched previous seasons, they know what's about to happen, and they're not like getting fooled that easily. So yeah, I think that the penalty was a bit harsh as well because the penalty was like you get 4 votes against you if you don't, like attempt it or complete the challenge. So that's basically like you're you're out. And also if you don't, the clue will be an easy clue as well. If in the trophy room. So he kind of feels the pressure like he has to do this. And I think that's why he felt like, he should just go and do it no matter how obvious and blatant it is. He has to, do it and try and like fight to see another day kind of thing. I think that's what he could if he had just played it cool. And I know the suspicion was like high on him, but I think if he had just played it cool it would have been like easier for him. Anyway, so let's just move on now to Umeko. So Umeko was also given a secret agenda, and if she completes the secret agenda, she will have the money transferred to her uh, from the now secret millionaire. It will be transferred to her, but she's not 100% sure who the secret millionaire is. She has the suspicions that it might be Nick, but she doesn't know for sure. So she's obviously got to try and help the secret millionaire in order to get the money. And what she does then is, so what she has to do is basically hit the she has like she has to get a beach ball and she has to hit the hit heads of like 3 of the guests with the beach ball. And I thought this was really clever the way she did it. It was very like she's very playful. Like her personality in general is very playful. So she just hit them on the head with the with the beach ball. So I thought that was like cute and playful, and she played that so well. I loved the like little beach setup and the beach balls, and all that situation. And it was perfect because Nick had already brought Nick. I think it was Nick who went to like look at the beach balls and brought them over. Um, and like Hunter was like quite suspicious of Nick, so he was having a talk with Nick on the side. And I feel like we see Hunter getting in this episode, Hunter's getting more and more, like brazen and like confident about who he is and like showing his true character more. And no one on this show, like you have to sit back and like play it cool. You can't like be like an alpha in this show because if you're an alpha, people are gonna try and cut you out of the show straight away because no one wants to be, outed by the alpha. And the alpha person is normally the person who's like, going around saying, I definitely think it's this person. We need to get rid of this person. Even if it's not this person's going to destroy everything and we need to get rid of them. Like no one wants a boss in this situation because they want to be the boss. They want to be the millionaire. Ultimately, they want to win the prize. And if they see someone who's more intelligent, more in control, has more power, then they're definitely going to get rid of them. So that's why I think Yumiko's plan to get rid of Hunter because Hunter was like so suspicious. Um, not he's suspicious. Plus, like everyone was so suspicious of Nick. I think that ultimately, like, I think she was too. Okay, let's talk about this in a bit of detail. So I think ultimately, like, um, she was like, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, let's talk about the he did the challenge, and he, like I said, that he should have clipped it better because he got caught. And then they went on to this random casino night that they had. And then Hunter revealed to us, the audience only, that he is actually a professional gambler and he's not a what did he say he was? A server at a restaurant or like a bartender or something like that, which he said he was. And then they play like this like random like roulette guessing game. And Hunter does really well in that, and he kind of shows who he is. Like in that, like you can see he's like Hunter's hunting with his eyes, like his whole face is all serious, and like he wins. And then the group is split up again, and they play a smaller game, which is they get split up into pairs. So Nick and I think it was Caleb versus Hunter and um Umeko. No, Nick and Hunter and Umeko. And I think I forgot what it was, what they're doing here. Um, but Hunter lost this, and I was thinking, you're a professional gambler. How are you losing this? It's it's not good. And he was like talking a lot of smack to Nick, which I thought it was good that Nick kept his cool the whole time. Basically, it showed Nick that he basically like laid it out on the table, like Hunter, that like we all know it's you, and um, if you don't just let uh Caleb win the immunity, then we're gonna know like that's you, or like that's so suspicious, basically. And then basically Nick was doing well in the game. I think it was like it's like betting, like you can only see your opponent's card and then you have to bet if your card's higher or lower, and you have to bet the chips, which obviously equates to money. And Nick was winning, and then Caleb was playing so conservatively, and then basically ultimately Caleb won, which I thought was really dumb. Like Nick could tell that Caleb was playing like a really tight conservative game. So what I personally would have done if I was Nick, I would have copied what he was doing, played really tight and conservatively, and then kind of like thrown him off like that. Because if you're too risky, you're not going to win. Like, and I think that's also like with age. Like, obviously Caleb has gambled before. Obviously Nick has not had as much experience because he's much younger than Caleb, and like he would have known like with time and experience, people like know, like especially if there's like something that you really like need to get, like, or you need to, Nick couldn't afford to gamble like that, but he still did, which I thought was stupid. Like there was no good judgment there. And then basically they went outside, and everyone's like um realizing that that Umeko is basically um not Yumiko, but the Yumiko is basically realizing everyone's like gunning for Nick, and she thinks it's definitely Nick. So then they're like had like this kind of secret rendezvous, Nick and Yumiko, where they're like out in the hot tub at night, and they're like laughing. I think this is an indoor hot tub, or like a place that we haven't seen before. And they're basically like talking about their alliance, and they're flirting a lot, like heavy flirting. And she's basically kind of trying to reassure him that like this is what we have to do. We have to like pin it on someone else. We've got to pin it on, Hunter, and we've got to get everyone behind this. And then it's the next day, and they're all talking about the clothespin situation, and Hunter's like told about it now because he didn't know. And then Yumiko decides to go in for the kill, and she finds the loudest woman, loudest alpha woman. I've got her name. I want to say Kathy, but I know her name's not Kathy, but she looks like a Kathy. Um, and she basically tells her that, Nick, yeah, we know that it's Nick, but why don't we keep Nick around? Because then we know who the millionaire is. Like, it's not like the money's going anywhere. And if we get rid of Hunter, not Hunter. If we get rid of Hunter, because he's like getting really aggressive, not aggressive, but what's the word? He's getting really opinionated, and like I feel like he can throw anyone under the bus right now. That's what Yumiko was coming at her with. I feel that Yumiko could have handled this better if she had been more like tactful about the whole thing and just said like, like slowly, like just planted like little seeds in everyone, like just a little seed here and a little seed there, and instead of like going at it so aggressively, then she wouldn't have got, like so much suspicion on her like in the next episode. So, oh, I think her name's Daisy. And then basically everyone talks about how like they want to get rid of Hunter basically, and Caleb and Kat are not like down with it, so they tell Hunter. So they kind of flip and tell Hunter, and then we go to the dinner, and basically Hunter is voted out, and Nick lives to see another day, and he's basically no longer the millionaire, and it is now basically Yumiko, but no one knows it's Yumiko. And then we see Yumiko talking to she goes basically to the trophy room, and she's like everyone finds out that it's moved the money, and everyone's shocked at the table that was, but yeah, she finds out that she goes to the trophy room, and we find out that she is also was an intelligence analyst, and she worked in the like Navy. So, and she's kind of like in this moment, she's kind of like bigging herself up, like all of them do when they go into like the trophy room or reveal something about themselves. Like when Hunter did as well, like he revealed that he was like a professional poker player, and he was like, I've been holding back and I'm amazing. And then he lost. He lost the second game, which which I thought like, why? Like you could say you could reveal who you are, but you shouldn't like I wouldn't, or I don't think you should actually, like boast about how great you are, because like Hunter got knocked down in 5 seconds, like after revealing it to the audience. He was like, yeah, I'm a professional poker player, and this is like I'm in my element. I can beat all of them basically. And yeah, he didn't win the next game. So Yumiko basically in the trophy room, Peter's talking. I think Peter sets traps for people because he's asking her about her profession, and then she's kind of like a bit braggalicious about it, slightly braggalicious, not very. But yeah, then he's like, "Oh, okay, this is what I do," and she's like, I've been waiting for something like this," and basically, they're always like all of these people on this show are always like, "Oh, I was born for this, and I'm made for this moment because like of my profession, or yeah, because of like my background or whatever." This is what people always say. So yeah, she's too like, just like how Nick came into the study, acting like he's hot shit and like this is going to be easy for him. This is exactly how Yumiko feels at this moment. Like it's like deja vu all the time. Like every time I watch a person, because Caleb was really, excited. Alti was excited about going in, and like he failed, and then Caleb was excited and he didn't really fail, but it was like touch and go there because everyone knew it was him. And then Nick as well, same situation. He was super confident and then like kind of got caught. And now, she's doing the same thing. And basically, he's talking about the secret agenda now. So if you survive the vote, you can get a kill shot. So she's excited about that at elimination. And then the guests also, everyone votes off one person, and you get to like vote a person off you're choosing off. And then he just basically says that, but if you fail the agenda or don't like attempt it, the penalty will be like 3 votes against you at elimination, which is a lot. So that's like quite stressful for her. She didn't expect that there'd be like a penalty. And basically the agenda is like you have to like use these 5 phrases from other languages to the other guests. So in conversation. So basically, konnichiwa, hasta la vista, bonjour, mahalo, ciao. So she starts laughing, and I think this is quite easy for her because like she's very like I said, very playful. She's not a serious person, so if it was like a more of a serious person in the house, like I'd say like a Caleb or maybe like a bit more like a Kevin or something like that, it wouldn't be believable. But she's very playful. I think also Hunter could have pulled it off as well, but they got rid of him in the elimination dinner. Um, Also maybe oh, I don't think anyone else could pull it off. Yeah, I think it's just those two could have pulled it off. Uh, yeah. So it was an easy one for her. She didn't get caught. She said it all, mostly to like one person. She got everything out. But Daisy clocked that she was pushing hard for Nick in the previous episode, before like and how she turned everyone on Hunter. And like, why didn't you clock that, Daisy, earlier when she was doing it? Like, I would have clocked that straight away. Like, yes, I want to get rid of Hunter because he's like, you know, not going to be good for my game, but I also realize what she's doing. She's trying to manipulate me. And it wasn't even like a hidden manipulation. It wasn't like a subtle, like dropping a little, what's it called? A little nugget of like information or little, seed, planting a little seed. It was like full blown, like, we have to do this because he's going to be bad for our game. Go and talk to everyone else. I think you're the perfect person to talk to everyone else. And like, in hindsight, she thought about it and she's like, oh, I was manipulated. I was manipulated because this must have been an agenda by her to get the money. Because that was revealed, I think it was revealed at the elimination dinner that the agenda was like basically to, get someone out, get help the millionaire stay in and get someone else out instead, and then you can get the money. So like, she's going into this really confident. She did a great job. Also, she's talking about like, she just wants to find out who she is now, like after like serving the military. She doesn't really know who she is. She's been busy just like taking orders and stuff like that, and like, she's very young still, and she wants to like explore who she is, and this would help her the money a lot, like try and figure out who she is in life, because I'm sure she has like loads of like college like debt and stuff like that she needs to pay off. So I think she's thinking about that and then starting her new life. So yeah, that's interesting. So then they basically, it's just like Daisy like talking to everyone else about Umeko the whole day, and then you know Yumiko like completing her challenge and like winning. And then it's the evening at the stag. The stag aerial views are amazing as well. Like, it's so beautiful. What a beautiful like place. And then everyone's like getting into a car because they have to like do this like maze challenge. And one person gets to run around the maze by themselves. And Yumiko says that basically Nick should do that because he's the only person that we know for sure that's not hasn't got the money, because he's he has been moved from him now. So like, we should just let him go around by himself, because then we don't have to watch for suspicious behavior for him. And then Daisy was like, what about me? Like, why can't I go? Or like, oh, like, why we don't want anyone to be alone or something like that. And then Yumiko was like, clock that. So she remembered it and put it in the bag for saved it in her memory for like later. And then basically they do the maze challenge. I thought this maze challenge was quite like good. It was a really good idea that they did something like this, and I think they could have made it like more, exciting and fun. And I think they could have people pop out and stuff as well, but it's not really a horror show, is it? Also, it was horrifying because like loads of bugs and like rats and like mice could have like popped out anytime, because it is a cornfield, so there's like loads of like things. Um, they had to like solve these riddles and like give those like little statues of like their rooms, basically like bear or like rabbit or whatever. So that was interesting, and Daisy was getting more and more suspicious of Yumiko, and I don't think at this point Yumiko knows that anyone's like suspicious of her. And basically the team that wins is I think Yumiko's team wins. Yumiko and um Lauren and Kevin. So yeah. And then it's the like basically the next day, and everyone's talking by the pool, and um I think Kevin's the one that told Yumiko that everyone's suspicious about her, that Daisy's suspicious about her and stuff like that. And then basically we go to the trophy room and um they Yumiko wants to go inside, but like she doesn't want to push it because everyone will think it's her. So Lauren basically takes it upon herself to go in, and basically the clue is uh that one of uh the millionaire was an intelligence analyst. So then Lauren said something really funny. She was like, "What? Basically, like, are you like for real?" And she's like, "In this house of dummies, basically," which I found really funny. Like, and not Nick, Peter also found it really funny as well. Like, he started laughing. Lauren is hilarious. Like, we needed a bit more of her, like, her witty comments and stuff like that. I would have loved to see like more of her. I just need to take a sip of water because I've been talking for quite a while now and like I'm parched. Like my throat is like really super dry. Also, if you hear my stomach making noises, I'm really sorry about that, but I'm really hungry and I'm doing this before like I go and make dinner because I just wanted to get this done and get this out for you guys because I know the other episodes are coming up really fast as well. And I'm quite busy this week, so I just wanted to make sure I got it done. And if I didn't do it right now, I wouldn't have any time during the rest of the week to do it because I'm busy, busy, busy. So yeah, I'm trying to get this done quickly for you guys, quickly and efficiently, and like yeah. So then like Lauren's thinking about who it could be, and then she goes outside and she basically says to Yumiko and to Kevin that the clue about the intelligence analyst. You can see from Yumiko's face like that like she hasn't got a good poker face for this. She looks like stunned that they revealed this about her. Also in the confessional as well, that she looks quite stunned. So like her eyes are like popping out of her skull at this point, Kate. Like poker face it. She should have poker faced it and she should have been like intelligence analyst. Like that sounds like a cool job. Like I would have, you know, been like, wow, I want to know more about that job kind of situation instead of like being like, oh, I don't know what it is. Or, she's kind of trying to distance herself from it a lot. And then when they were discussing everything at the table, when um Lauren was telling everyone, basically Daisy or Lauren, one of them was like, well, it could be in like, the military, and the military's in Virginia, and basically they all clock that, Yumiko said that she, is in, she's originally from Hawaii, but she is like now based in Virginia. So everyone's like, yeah, it's definitely her, it's definitely her. And basically at this time, like Nick and Yumiko are like talking outside and he's basically like, oh, I know that's you and I'm gonna help you, don't worry, we're gonna get to the end together. And like he's like, I think he's like really smitten with her at this point as well. And he's like so happy that she helped him in the last, you know, part. And then she basically when they're going into the I think are they going to the trophy room yet? Yeah, they're going into the trophy room and everyone like is suspecting her and there's like a lot of tension and everything like that. And then basically they pick Nick tries to put up a fight for her a little bit and also Yumiko like tries to put up a fight for herself as well, but Daisy's team win and she is basically, knocked out and she's crying a lot because she's saying that she wanted to do this to like represent for like a lot of different communities, um being like a woman, being a black woman, and also being an Asian woman as well. Did she say? Um, I just want to get that right. Let me just um black and Asian, um, and a woman. So like this really resonated like with a lot of people. Like they felt her like struggle and they felt her pain and like a lot of people cried at the table and I thought this was like a really important moment like for culture in general, like for the world in general, like to realize that this was like a huge moment for her. And she was also like she said like representing a lot of like different communities and she felt like you know to a certain extent she like felt like she did a good job, she let them down and also like she did a good job for them as well, like representing them. I think she did an amazing job for them. Like I wouldn't have guessed at all that she's like an intelligence analyst. from the start because she played her cards quite close to the chest. Also, like Hunter did the same. He played his cards quite close to the chest, and like I wouldn't have ever guessed what he did. Ulti played a bad game. Caleb, I still don't really know what he does. I can't remember what he does, but he just looked stressed the whole time. Like his face gave it away the whole time. I think the best person so far, I think, has been Nick, but also he kind of crumbled towards the end. So like, ugh, I wonder how everyone else is gonna act like when they get the box. I can't wait to see. I think Lauren will be pretty good at it because she's like hilarious and funny, and those comments she made in the private study were like hilarious, and it's really like made me see a different side of her, and I can't wait to see more of her and like what she has to say and stuff. Also, who else is left? Maybe one of the people that got it before, like Caleb or Nick, will get it again now. I wonder where it's going to go because in like at breakfast they're all like eating, and then Peter comes in and then he skips away. He's like skipping, and that's crazy. That's funny. They made him do something weird like that. Um, and then they're just like all sitting in their rooms, and I don't think we get told who has the money. Like, I don't think like everyone's opening their boxes, and it's not. I don't think it's clear like who has the money. I think it might be um Kat or Daisy, but I'm hoping that it's someone who's already had it, so they can like kind of like make it a bit more spicy. Or maybe they'll do that towards the end, like when there's less people. I don't know. Um, let's see what happens. It might be Caleb again. It might be Nick again. I really want to. I don't think Kevin will do a good job. I don't think he has a good poker face. I don't think he's. I don't think he can do it. Maybe Kat could do a good job. Not sure, but it's a high pressure situation. Also, Daisy as well. There's Daisy left as well. I just like I can't wait to see the next few episodes. I want to know what you all think. Like, who do you think has the money at this point? Because like my bets are weird. Like they might have given it back to Caleb or Nick just to like spice things up, or they could have given it to someone like Daisy. Daisy, I feel like is the biggest alpha in the group right now. So I think maybe Daisy to see how she handles it, or like someone like Kevin or Lauren. I'd love to see Lauren get it. She's like one of my new faves now. I love a funny person or a sarcastic person, and I just want to give this because we rate this according to like soju bottles. So I'm going to give these 4 episodes basically were so good. Like I was hooked and I watched them like consecutively. I binge watched it and it was like quite late when I finished. Um, so yeah, I think it was like kept me at the edge of my seat the whole time, and I was like stressed when they were all stressed. I was trying to like I always root for the millionaire because it's like so stressful for them, to have like everyone trying to find out who they are. Who do you guys root for? Because like when you're watching, do you root for the millionaire or do you root for the other contestants like to find like the millionaire? Like I want to know. And also, who do you guys want to win this season, like from everyone that's left? I don't know who I want to win. I feel like Lauren or Nick at this very moment in time, I want to win. Um, yeah, no one else, I don't think. Maybe Kat, because we don't know about Kat yet. And I want either like I said, Lauren, or like I already said who I want to get the million right now. So I think it's going to be one of the guys that already had it. So yeah, rating these few episodes, these episode 4, 5, and 6, I want to give it like 8 soju bottles out of 10. Bottles of soju basically out of 10 because I thought like it like really captivated me, and like I was like hooked, and I really want to see the next episode. Basically, I want to see what happens next. Episode 7, I can't wait. I think there's only like how many episodes left? Episode 7 and 8. I think there's only 8 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 7 and 8. And they're actually coming out on the 29th of April. So I'm going to hopefully drop this before the 29th of April. So you guys can listen to my thoughts and like the recap before we see the next two episodes, the final two episodes. I can't wait to see season 3 as well. I know season 2 hasn't like completed yet, but I'm excited for that. And I want them to like up the ante. The only thing I don't like is that they make, like I said, they make the agendas too difficult. And people are going to get caught very easily if you make the agendas too difficult. And that's not fun for us watching. The viewers don't like that. We want like people not to know. Well, I want people not to know. I don't want the millionaires outed straight away, and I don't want them to get kicked off straight away. I kind of want to root for the millionaire because they're like, they're the lone wolf. They're they're the ones that are being hunted in this situation. So I, want to keep them safe. And it's unfortunate that, they've made it so difficult. But also I feel like because it's also high pressure. Like I thought Nick could have done a better job, like I said, with the clothes pins. If he thought about it better, but he was just thinking about the consequences of not doing it, and like the stress was building up, so he just did it, I think. And like, yeah, that made it pretty obvious, and everyone knew it was him. So, and he didn't even, even when they were like, "Oh, why did you clip this on us? Was it an agenda? Like, why did you do this?" He was like, "Oh, I don't know, I didn't." He didn't even confess to anything, or anything like that. Like he just you know just didn't say much really. So, like I said, I would have just clipped it on behind people for a second and then taken it off. Like left it on for a few seconds, like 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counted in my head and taken it off, and then moved on to the next person, clipped it on them and then taken it off. That's how I would have played that. But anyway, I can't wait to watch the next few episodes, and we're going to be also dropping a whole bunch of other Korean stuff as well. If you guys are into Korean shows and like some other shows like Million Dollar Secret as well. I don't know if they're going to have a new season of another reality TV show that I really love on Netflix called The Mole. I love that. I loved season 1. I loved season 2. I'm going to try and no, I don't think Mimi's got time to watch that because I've given her another list of other shows that we have to crack on with, because we're behind with our Korean reality TV shows that we want to like talk about. So hopefully she can like watch those shows, get those done, because I've watched like one of those. I've still got to watch the other one, and she's halfway through watching that one. So we're both like at different levels, so I don't want to forget all the things that I like saw on the show. So I'm trying to like encourage her to like hurry up and we can like talk about it together. So yeah, we'll be back with like lots more like Netflix stuff, Bravo TV stuff. I think we're going to be covering the new Summer House spin-off on Bravo. What's it called? In the city, because I just thought like we didn't really cover every single episode of Summer House, so I thought that we should definitely be covering that show, because I'm going to be watching it like a hawk now that all this stuff with Sierra and West has happened. Sierra, West, and Amanda. Obviously I'm team Sierra. Amanda and West are just trash to me. So yeah, if you want to hear us talk about In the City and some other Bravo shows potentially, we might just touch on other Bravo shows potentially. But there's just so much Bravo stuff, and there's a lot of people that do Bravo like recaps and Bravo like talk about Bravo shows. So that's why we just wanted to steer clear of like Bravo shows, because it's too much for us to get through in a week. Like we can't do it. It's just we've got like other things going on in life. Like we've got lives, we've got full lives, so we can't really get that done. So that's why we're going about it this way, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, so we'll be back soon. Hopefully I'll be back with Mimi in the next episode, or I might like have to shuffle up a few no, in the next episode I won't be back with Mimi. It would just be me on my own, probably, and then the one after that it will be me and Mimi. So I will see you guys later, and I'll be back with some more shows. Bye. Quick, hit the follow button so you never miss an episode. You can also follow us on our socials too: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on whatever you're listening to this podcast on.